LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I
filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by L'Oréal Paris and their Revitalift filler range. If you're looking for a glass skin glow, try Revitalift filler serum and plumping water cream. Powered by hyaluronic acid, L'Oréal's filler serum hydrates skin and replumps fine lines in just 1 hour. Then lock in that hydration and plump with the filler water cream. Right now, the range is half price at Boots until the 21st of October, subject to availability. Shop the Revitalift filler serum and water cream at Boots now.
Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the Port Charles 411, continuing with part 7 of Lucky and Liz, part 10 of Lucky. Last week we left off where basically Liz had accidentally found the tape that had Lucky's sample track, I guess. I don't know exactly what to call it. Like there was the song Elizabeth, and he had recorded it.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting, it's about July 24th-ish, 1998. Between this week and next week, it takes us through November. The only reason that I know that it's July 24th is because it starts with saying it is the police commissioner's wedding.
Yes.
And the police commissioner at the time was Mac. And I'm looking in his thingamadoodle, his General Hospital fandom. Well, I guess I can look in theirs. Because was that the first time that Felicia and Mac got married? Yep. So it says they both worked as private investigators. And in 1998, one of their cases forced them to pose as a married couple.
Okay.
Maxie and Georgie were thrilled with the ruse and truly believed that Mac and Felicia were back together. This caused the couple to take their ruse as far as a wedding, where they finally realized that they loved each other and married for real.
Aww.
Yeah, but then, they got divorced and then we had to go through all that stuff again. So anyway, It just says the police commissioner's wedding, ... Lucky is counting money. What's he counting money for? Like, were they having the reception maybe at Luke's or
that's what I
something? But why would Lucky be working at Luke's? Because right now he's still at odds with them.
Right.
So who knows? If you remember this part, because I don't. And then it just says that Liz walks over, apologizing for being late, and comments on the cash. It's a drop in the bucket, Lucky says. Liz asks him what the cash is for, and he says it's a secret, then asks what time the wedding starts. So he's not at the wedding.
Okay.
Okay.
It may tell us as we move forward.
Was he busking? I mean, that'd be nice. Why did we never have Lucky doing that?
That's a great idea.
That'd be a great idea for him to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bring in a little Nashville from it.
Yes.
Yes. That was also an ABC show.
Mm-hmm.
So if there were original songs, there were some original songs, they should totally do that. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Anyway, back to this. The discussion and details. They discuss the details, and Liz seems less than enthused. She's worried about Mac's coworkers being there staring at her, the poor rape victim. Lucky offers to go with her. Liz looks relieved. So why would Liz have been invited to Mac and Felicia's wedding, but not Lucky? Like,
right. Maybe she used to babysit the girls or something.
I feel like that would have been a part of this. Like, we definitely would have known, it was.
Or maybe
Liz
they invited Audrey, and so they were like, yeah, your granddaughter too.
Okay. We'll go with that one. Lucky offers to go with her. Liz looks relieved. That is not correct wedding etiquette, just so you know.
No.
Outside the sanctuary, Lizzie is with Audrey, reluctant to enter. Lucky arrives and she relaxes. Audrey leaves the two of them alone, and Liz and Lucky enter the sanctuary together. And then there's just a side note that says that Curly Q Girl. Oh, yeah. By the way, using Curly Q Girl didn't include the entire wedding, but did include Mac and Felicia's declaration of love to each other as it affected Liz and Lucky. Okay. Aw, this is probably when they're like, oh my gosh, think what I feel like for you. This love.
It's so cute.
I know. At the reception, Liz and Lucky are sitting at a table together, laughing about the strange wedding they just attended. Well, now I want to watch the wedding. Liz tells Lucky that she thinks Mac and Felicia's story was the most romantic thing in the world, even though she really didn't understand it all. Lucky tells her she is a sucker for the goopy stuff. She retorts that she is a very edgy cynic. They both are glad that they came to the wedding together. Audrey tells Liz that Mr. Murty called before they left for the wedding and asked if they could have the next tutorial session at her house instead of school. Audrey wants to know why she is taking private tutorials from Mr. Murty. Liz and Lucky decide to step outside to get some air. They run into Nicholas, who tries to avoid them, also trying to figure out why Nicholas was there.
Mm-hmm.
Liz thanks Nicholas for keeping his promise to not tell anyone about her rape. He tells her that it's no one's business. Lucky is even big enough to tell Nicholas that he could have made things harder on Liz, but he didn't. He tells Nicholas he won't forget it. Nicholas just nods, astonished by Lucky's words. Lucky takes a hold of Liz's hand as they walk outside. Felicia rounds up all of the single ladies. It's time to throw the bouquet. Lucky encourages Liz to take part. She's single, right? Liz catches it. Well, actually, it sort of lands in her hair. Liz is laughing, and Lucky watches her smiling. Felicia and Mac thank all of their guests for sharing their day with them as they head off for their honeymoon in France. Mr. Murty comes to the Webbers to tutor Liz. She is scared when Audrey leaves them alone. Lucky asks Jason for a job, and he gets one detailing the limos. And Mr. Murty and Liz discuss The Great Gatsby.
I don't like her alone with Mr. Murty.
Nope.
And then we see Laura and Lucky in the park. Lucky comes upon his mother in the park near the bench. She tries to get through to him and expresses her concern for him. When she tells him he looks like he isn't sleeping well, he tells her that he dreams of having the face of a rapist, the face of his father. Laura tries to reassure Lucky that he could never commit rape, but rather than pointing out his loving reaction to Liz in the wake of her rape and his righteous indignation of the act even before he learned about his father. She talks about having seen his soul when he was first born. Aww. She tells
You know what my son told me when, okay, sorry, squirrel. My son told me when he was little that when he was in my belly, he memorized my soul.
Aww.
I'm like, that is one of the most beautiful things in the world. Like,
yes. Mm-hmm.
he was little. So I'm like, well, okay.
What? Right. That's so cute, though.
I know.
Does he remember saying it now?
You know, I haven't asked him.
You should ask, because that would be cool.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear him further expand on that now, if so.
He might still feel that way. He's still a very kind, gentle soul.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a good boy.
He is. She tells him he has a light within him. Lucky gets around to mentioning that he'd seen the pictures of her beaten body after the rape and that he didn't believe his father's claims that they were doctored photos. Laura goes ballistic when she learns that Helena showed him such pictures. She tells Lucky in no uncertain terms that they were manufactured and that she had never been beaten. She then talks about how evil Helena is and how Lucky must not ever believe her. The woman is the devil. Helena is poison, she tells her son, and you do not take your truths from Helena Cassadine. Wow.
She wasn't wrong, though, about the rape part that she told Lucky about, so...
Yeah, that understandably was hard for Lucky to differentiate what's the truth and what's not, because he had not gotten the truth before.
Mm-hmm.
So as Murty leaves, Garcia shows up and tells Liz that her case has been closed. Audrey joins them and tries to calm Elizabeth. Liz vows revenge, causing Garcia to ask if she has someone in particular in mind. Liz denies it. Garcia asks, "Do you know something I don't?" And Liz does not answer. After Garcia leaves, Audrey wants to hang out with Liz, but Liz begs off. claiming she has to work at the diner. She takes off. Lucky shows up afterwards, and Audrey comes to the door, conveniently holding the letter from Murty about Liz's grades, which he conveniently mailed from home rather than school. Lucky knows instantly that something is amiss, checks out the return address on the envelope, and takes off. Liz climbs in Murty's open window with the knife Lucky gave her in her hand. She hides in the closet as she hears Murty come in. Classical music is playing from somewhere. The closet is huge, and she finds a ski mask on the floor of it, which causes her, of course, to flash back to the rape and to freak out. She exits the closet, feels a hand on her shoulder, spins around, and in the process stabs the knife into the body behind her. Problem, it's not Murty standing in his living room, but Lucky, who clutches his wounded side and falls to the floor. Lucky has a stunned look on his face, and Liz's face looks even more afraid than before. Lucky crumples to the ground, and Liz kneels beside him. She touches his wound as he flinches and says he's all right. Murty comes in the room and asks what's going on. Liz jumps up and points the knife at him, telling him not to move. He tells Liz that she doesn't want to hurt him. Her response, "It's all I can think about." Murty says he's going to call 911 to get help for Lucky, but Liz tells him no, that she will just bring the cops, which is what he wants. She turns and asks Lucky what Bobbie's number is, and he tells her he's all right again. She asks again, and a door opens. "Richard?" Murty calls. Richard answers that it is his and Murty. What? Murty calls. Richard answers that it is his and Murty, tells him to get his medical bag and his first aid kit. Liz asks,
Richard?
I have no idea. Liz asks what he's doing, but Murty says he's a doctor and to let him help. Richard comes in and stops in mid-sentence as he surveys the scene. Murty asks Richard to help Lucky, and Richard asks what's going on. Richard asks if this is the student that he told him about, to which Liz says, "You told him?" in disbelief, thinking he told Richard about the rape. Murty said he did. Liz tells him how disgusting he is and that he's not going to get away with what he did. Murty seems really confused and asks Liz what he did. Liz tells him plain and simple, "You raped me." She starts telling him about the night in detail, how she didn't want to go to the dance and went to the park, how he grabbed her from behind, how he ruined her new dress. Throughout the entire monologue, Murty doesn't say a word to Liz. At the end of her speech, he tells her he's sorry. She can't believe he would think an apology would cut it. He tells her he didn't do it, but she tells him to stop denying it. At this point, Lucky, who is being cleaned up by Richard, sees a picture of Richard and Murty together. He puts two and two together, but doesn't say anything. Richard says that it's impossible for Murty to have raped Liz. She asks him if he can believe what his friend is like now. She tells Murty she just found the ski mask he wore in the closet. Richard points out that a lot of people have ski masks. In fact, he thinks the one in the closet is actually his. She tells him about the soap he uses that makes her want to vomit. Lucky tells her it's probably not possible, and she looks at him in shock. He tells her that Murty and Richard aren't just friends. She looks at him, still confused, to which he says, "Elizabeth, they're a couple." Murty pipes in at this point and says, "I'm gay," to which Liz looks utterly shocked. She asks him about his wife. She asks why his wife is so afraid of him then. She knows about the domestic violence calls. Her and Lucky investigated it, but his wife wouldn't talk. Murty then goes on to tell them that they got married right out of high school, and as she can see, he had a lot to learn about himself still at that point. They were getting separated when they bought the house together, but they needed both equities in order to get the house. She moved in with a boyfriend, and he thinks it was a good thing that he partially owned the house because it allowed him to help get the guy evicted for what he did to her. She pressed charges against the guy, and he was convicted. The guy is now serving an 8-year sentence. They can call her if they want to verify it. Richard says that it's impossible for Murty to have raped Liz because he was with him all night. Murty chaperoned the Valentine's Day dance, and then Richard picked him up. They went to a gay function after that with some friends.
Okay, let's just remember that this is how this is written, and this is probably the language that was used at the time that the episode was on. Because when they said he couldn't have done it, and then they said that he's gay, I'm like, that doesn't mean that he couldn't have raped her.
Right.
Like that's that. But
yes, but they are providing
an alibi.
Right. They are providing an alibi, which would mean that he couldn't do it. So again, they say that she can check their alibi if she wants. Liz falters, and Lucky takes the opportunity to tell him to put down the knife. He tells her a few more times, and finally she does put the knife down. Richard says that Lucky needs stitches, so they need to go to the hospital. Murty asks if he can do it, and Richard says he can, so he sews Lucky up. Liz apologizes to Murty for her accusations, and he tells her that he failed her. She reminds him that she got a passing grade, and he says that's not what he meant. He realized something was wrong with her. She was usually spunky, but then suddenly she changed. She stopped handing in assignments. She failed her midterm. She failed her final. He thought that she knew his secret. He thought she was afraid of homosexuals, and that's why she seems so terrified to be in the same room as him. He feels so bad about letting her down. She tells him that she's the one who should feel guilty. She just accused him of raping her, and she could have killed him. Lucky says he's guilty too, and Richard points out that none of them are as guilty as they're feeling. They just all made a mistake. Liz asks if Murty passed her to buy her silence. He says he may have done it unconsciously, but that isn't what he intended on. He asked why she told her grandmother that she had a crush on him, and she said that she did it as a cover-up. Richard says that he'll drive them home.
Did Liz tell Audrey that she had a crush on Murty?
I don't think she did. I think that
This
Audrey
is supposed to say she asks why Mr. Murty told Audrey that Liz had a crush on him. So did he say to Audrey, this is why she's getting tutoring, she has a little crush on me and everything? And was he using that as a cover-up to hide the fact that he is gay?
Okay.
However, I have definitely had many crushes on Jonathan Groff right off the bat. Ricky Martin. Like,
all right, you can absolutely crush on a gay man.
Especially if you don't know.
Right. I had a guy that I worked with.
This is the late 90s. I get what he's saying, but just saying.
Yep.
I'm guilty.
You don't know. Oh, me too. I had a coworker that I had the biggest crush on, and it wasn't until years later that I found out. And I was like, you totally let me make a fool of myself. You could have told me, like, I would have been fine. And he was like, yeah, we were friends, but we weren't that good of friends. I didn't feel that I could share at that time. So, yeah, I felt bad, but it's all good now. So Richard says that he'll drive them home, but Liz says they'll get home on their own. She already caused them enough trouble for one night. Murty says it's no problem. He and Richard go and get the keys to the car. Liz apologizes again to Lucky, who says it was an accident. She then realizes that they're back to square one. They still don't know who the rapist is. Liz is afraid that now she'll never get any closure.
Back at the Webbers, Liz takes Lucky up to her bedroom and takes care of him. When Audrey comes home, Liz insists on telling her about what happened to Lucky. At Lulu's birthday, Nicholas leaves after telling Laura that he hopes Lulu will get her birthday wish. What was Lulu's birthday wish? When Nick is out of earshot, here we go. When Nick is out of earshot, Luke asks what that wish was. That both of her brothers would come to her party. Oh. Laura replies, Luke doesn't think Lucky's going to show up with him there, and he offers to leave. Laura tells him to stay, and we see Lucky and Liz approaching the house. Lucky tells Liz that he just wants to put in a quick appearance and leave. They enter, and Laura is thrilled. Liz and Lucky give Lulu her gifts. There's some awkward conversations between Lucky, Luke, and Bobbie, and then Liz apologizes for wounding Lucky. Laura and Luke accept her apology. Okay. I mean, Laura gets it.
Yeah.
Luke and Laura are sitting on their porch talking about Lulu's birthday party. They are excited that they spent almost the entire day as a family since Lucky showed up, the first time since Laura returned home. Luke tells her that she won't see much of Lucky, though, as long as he is around. They talk about how much Lucky has grown up, how he's handling himself in a crisis, and that they taught him well. Laura is glad that Lucky has Elizabeth to help him. She comments that they are sweet together, protective of one another. Laura comments that Lucky is just like his father. Maybe we don't say that when your son has told you that he is scared to death of being, even though Lucky wasn't there.
Right.
Liz and Lucky are talking about his family. Liz comments that his house feels like a home should feel. Her family is serious and blonde. Okay.
Oh, she didn't feel like she fit in.
Right.
She
No,
had
but
brown hair.
I'm thinking about it, and it's Jeff Weber. Like, yeah. Oh, Steve Hardy had dark hair though, so that's where she gets it. She feels like she would have fit in better at the Spencer home than her own.
This episode is brought to you by L'Oreal Paris and their Revitalift filler range. If you're looking for a glass skin glow, try Revitalift filler serum and plumping water cream. Powered by hyaluronic acid, L'Oreal's filler serum hydrates skin and replumps fine lines in just 1 hour. Then lock in that hydration and plump with the filler water cream. Right now, the range is half price at Boots until the 21st of October, subject to availability. Shop the Revitalift filler serum and water cream at Boots now.
Liz wonders if Lucky misses his home. He tells her that he misses seeing it in the way it looks to Liz. Lucky thinks that Liz believes he is too hard on his parents. She tells him that everyone has a secret and that doesn't make them a bad person. Mr. Murty walks out of Kelly's and sees Liz and Lucky, who look embarrassed and unsure of what to say to him after what happened at his house the other night. Murty sees their apprehension and approaches them. He wants to clear the air. Murty wonders if he needs to go to the cops to clear his name. They admit he was their only suspect. They try to reassure him that it would be just a bunch of coincidences that they strung together that led him to believe he was the rapist, not anything that he did or said to Liz or any other girl at school. Murty tells Liz she will have a great life, and the thing she'll remember most about her sophomore year is that she made a friend for life. Lucky. Oh, Lucky smiles at Liz, taking in Murty's words. If he only knew.
Right?
Liz and Lucky are sharing an ice cream sundae. They talk about what to do now that they are all out of suspects. Liz tells Lucky that the police have closed her case, and that's why she went on a rampage to find Murty. Lucky is sorry and looks worried about her. Liz is still determined to find her rapist. She'll keep hounding the cops after her case. She owes it to the next girl to try. Bobbie sees Lucky and Liz sharing an ice cream sundae. She tells them it was nice to see them at Lulu's party and tells Liz that she looks great. After Bobbie leaves, Lucky tells Liz that his Aunt Bobbie was right. She does look good, and Liz looks embarrassed. I can just hear it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
He tells her that she looks like she got, like something got fixed. He says it's certainly not her hair. Lucky agrees and gently strokes her hair as they look into each other's eyes. Then Liz is serving breakfast to the outdoor diners. This is the next day. A couple of young lovebirds who spend the rest of the episode kissing and making goo-goo eyes at each other in order for the main characters to have an excuse to talk about love and romance. Lucky appears and they talk about the couple kissing at the restaurant. Then we learn he has his first paycheck from Jason and is back living in the boxcar after staying at the Hardys. They talk about him having been nursed back to health by a great nurse, Audrey, not Liz, he jokes. Foreshadowing. He teases Liz that she must be glad to have her mattress back, and she says she sleeps better with a roommate or a patient. Perhaps, he suggested, she should shoot him next time, since recuperation would take longer. Lucky has an idea for some of the money from his first paycheck. My nurse rates 5-course lunch at a new Chinese restaurant. My grandmother? No, you. Liz agrees to go out to lunch later that day. She tries to act like it isn't a date, and he acts like it is one. Then he takes off to get ready. She looks over at the still kissing couple. Liz is now waiting on Bobbie, who is also interested in the makeout couple. Liz winds up talking about love with Bobbie. At first, it's light stuff with Bobbie telling Liz people in love don't eat, and Liz asking semi-seriously, is that a classic symptom? It gets heavier as Liz says, I can't even let myself be kissed, even by somebody who is incredibly, and she cuts off, starts rambling. Bobbie tells her to relax. She tells Bobbie of her plans to go to lunch with Lucky. Bobbie notices that talking about Lucky makes her tense up and she denies it. Lucky and I have been joined at the hip for months, Liz tells Bobbie. So why is she suddenly feeling weirded out about being with him? Bobbie suggests that it's because her feelings for him have changed from like to love, from affection to romance. Liz says, we're best friends, that's all. Why am I going to cry?
I wasn't going to call you out.
Bobbie points out that friends do fall in love, but Liz insists it can't happen with me and Lucky. Why not? Because it's not what you want? Bobbie asks, what you want and what you can handle are two completely different things, says Liz. Ruby comes out and fusses at Liz affectionately and lets her go early to get ready for her lunch date with Lucky.
Do you want me to take over now? Are you okay?
Yeah, you can go. I'm just gonna sit here smiling like,
All right. So Liz meets Lucky at the diner. She's wearing a cute gray slip dress. They're color coordinated. He's wearing a gray shirt. He has brought a menu so she can be sure she wants to go to the restaurant he's chosen. They engage in small talk about food, standing very close so both can read the menu simultaneously. Both realize how close they are to one another, grow quiet, stare into one another's eyes, sort of lean in, but no one moves that last few inches again. Lucky and Liz are still in their not even close to an almost kiss moment and break apart. A boy comes up and asks for the check. Liz says she already gave it to him, but he doesn't have it. She goes to print another one. The girl comes up and asks how long they've been together. Liz comes out and girl tells her she's really pretty and glad that she's with Lucky. Boy and girl say they're going up to a cabin and there's only 2 bedrooms, but they know that they can share. Lucky says he has to work. Boy takes girl away.
did they have the date and now we're back to Liz's working?
No, they're still at, he came to pick her up. I guess he came to pick her up at the diner.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
And so this is the makeout couple, and this random makeout couple
Yes,
is
thank you.
inviting them.
Okay.
The random makeout couple is inviting them to go up to a cabin with them where they can have their own
Weird.
bedroom.
No, that's weird.
So weird. Like, hey, we're a couple because we were just making out. We think you guys are a couple. You want to come with us to have your own bedroom? What? That never happened to me in my entire life. I don't know
No.
what this is. But anyway, Lucky says he has to work, and the boy takes girl away, who is asking what she did wrong. Liz says if they only knew how long they'd been sharing a bedroom. She also says she doesn't mind what they think about them. Lucky says he minds. Liz looks upset and goes in. Later, after they go to lunch, Liz gives Lucky some money for the lunch. Their hands touch and they both stop for a second. They laugh and go off with each other. And then Nick goes to Lucky and tells him about Laura testifying for Stefan in his trial for, why does it say cat?
When did we ever call Catherine Cat? Never.
Never. So Laura is testifying for Stefan in Catherine's murder. Laura's testimony gets him off, and Luke is furious. Nick is worried about what Luke might do to Laura. Luke confronts Laura. He is jealous over the affair she had with Stefan. He realizes that Stefan is Nick's father and storms out in disgust. Lucky waits outside till Luke leaves the house, then checks to see that Laura and Lulu are okay, but quickly leaves without so much as a smile. He doesn't show her any warmth, but did care enough to check on her. Luke and Lucky meet up in the park. Luke has tracked him down to say goodbye. He is leaving Port Charles. Okay. And then Liz is painting another picture for Lucky's TV when he knocks at her window. She asks him where he's been. He tells her just working. He tells her that he still finds himself in the park sometimes near the fountain, and sometimes it's just a fountain, and other times he can see her sitting there in her red dress all alone, unprotected, and it kills him all over again. Liz tells him she didn't realize the park affected him this way. He tells her that tonight he was in the park when his dad found him. He told her that his father is leaving town and he doesn't know if he's ever coming back. And then later, Liz brings in a plate of brownies. She tells Lucky that she took some over to the boxcar yesterday and he wasn't there, but she saw the newspaper, the trial coverage. He admits that he has a morbid curiosity about it. He tried not to make it matter, but Nick came by, worried that Luke would hurt Laura because she testified for Stefan. Lucky
Remember back
tells
in the day when we had to read newspapers in order to keep up with. I mean, technically, he didn't have a TV in the boxcar, but also I doubt that it would be. No, that might have been on like local.
Yeah, I would have been on local news, I feel like.
Yeah.
Lucky tells Liz that he went to check on his mom, that his parents had a fight, but his mom seemed okay, and his dad hasn't been home since. He tells Liz that his father told him he was proud of him, and that he's taken credit for teaching Lucky how to find his own way, as if the whole nightmare was just supposed to be some growth experience for him. Liz wonders what bothers him the most about his dad leaving. He says he won't miss running into him at the docks or in the park, but with his dad gone, the whole thing feels unfinished. Liz understands he won't have anyone to hate anymore. She feels the same way. She tells him that when they thought Murty was her rapist, she could just focus all her anger and hate in one place, and now her rapist is some anonymous guy who she'll never find. Lucky thinks it's good that his dad is gone, especially for his mom. Liz thinks Laura could use some support from Lucky right now. He tells her that she is relentless. Lucky tells her he needs to go. Then, as he approaches the window, asks if he could maybe crash in her room again. She tells him that she always keeps his bedding handy just in case.
Oh. Laura runs into Liz at Kelly's. They sit down, and Liz once again shows remorse for stabbing Lucky. Laura tells her it isn't her fault. Liz still feels as if she had gone to the police, none of this would have happened. Lucky appears, and Liz asks him to stay. He pulls up a chair, not looking too happy. Liz talks about the rape some more, and she said that she remembers the rapist's eyes. Lucky takes another dig at Laura, and she leaves. Lucky and Liz go to the police station to look at mugshots. Liz can't recognize any of them, and they end up leaving. Liz and Lucky are play fighting because she wants to hear the tape he made her. The phone rings, and it's Taggart, telling them that they have a rape suspect and that they would like to see her. She goes down and can't identify her rapist at all. She says she wanted to say number 5, but it would be lying because she can't be sure. Even if they caught her rapist, she'll never know. Lucky apologizes to her, and she says she just wants to go home. She sits down on the bed, and Lucky tells her that there will be other lineups. Liz says she doesn't think Lucky's ever lied to her before. She then tells him she's upset and saying things she doesn't mean, so it's best that he goes. He leaves and tells her that she doesn't have to be anything for him. She picks up her bear and throws it down. She starts clearing everything off every table, knocking over chairs, throwing things around. She eventually takes something and launches it at the mirror, which shatters. Lucky has come back to the window and witnessed the whole thing. As she turns around, he hides so that she won't see him. She falls on her bed sobbing as Lucky looks in the window. Liz lies in an exhausted fetal position, surrounded by broken glass, strewn clothes, and other shards of her room, which she trashed in a rage. Audrey knocks and comes in and then exclaims over the mess. Liz looks at her, distant and a little numbed out, and says in a small voice, "I got mad." Audrey asks her why she didn't call for help, and Liz answers, "I don't want to call anybody. I just wanted to be mad." Liz asks Audrey if she is grounded for life, and Audrey shows warmth, compassion, and humor in telling Liz that she isn't. Liz turns a piece of broken vase over in her hand and murmurs that she's broken a lot of her grandmother's things. Audrey is kind. Liz tells her grandmother about being unable to pick out her rapist in the lineup. "I'm not going to find him, Graham," she whispers. "He got away with it." Audrey tells her that God takes care of monsters like the rapist, and that it would be easier for a criminal to deal with man than God. Liz lifts her eyes and says, "God, if you're listening, get this guy good." Liz sinks back into her pillows, holding her teddy bear. Audrey soothes her and tells her she's been wanting to ask if it would be all right for the two of them to go to counseling with Gail together. "I'd love that," Liz whispers. Liz is sweeping up broken glass from the floor when Lucky taps the window and comes in. She looks subdued, as though she'd been embarrassed by the mess, but doesn't have the energy to be. Liz explains that she got mad and tore apart her room, and Lucky admitted that he kind of watched her. And it just says that she gave him a priceless look over her shoulder, kind of like a "what did you say?" scowl. He hastily explains that he could tell when he left that she wasn't herself, and he had just come back to check on her and make sure she was okay. He tells her he watched her until he was sure that she wouldn't hurt herself, and asks if she's mad at him. She shrugs, admitting that she would have done the same thing if it had been him. They sit on her bed, and she tells them she always thought that if she could look her rapist in the face and tell him what he did to her, she would be free and could get past it all. Now that she knows that she can't do that, she has to find another way. She tells him that she and Audrey are going to counseling together and that she thinks it might help her. Something has to. Lucky puts an arm around her and draws her close, telling her that there is still a chance for her to catch the rapist, but She pulls back, reminding him that he was there at the lineup and that he knows she doesn't have a clue what the rapist looks like. It's really hard, she tells him, and he hugs her again, comforting her. She is sitting apart from Lucky on the bed and seems more cheerful. She tells him that she wanted to get better and will get better if she just sits in her room her whole life because of what happened to her when she was 15. The rapist will have won. Wow, I just really messed up my cadence there. She tells him that she wants to get better and will get better. If she just sits in her room her whole life because of what happened to her when she was 15, then the rapist will have won, and she won't let that happen. I want to heal, she says, and moves forward to put her head on Lucky's shoulder. Then that's what you'll do, he says, stroking her hair. I know you. As always, these two, the scene is very sweet and real. And we're going to end there. Ah, yeah.
You're so cute.
It's just good.
It is good.
So yeah, so we're just going to leave it there, but I feel like we're kind of getting this kind of comfort vibes from them since he's been back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. They have to put them back together. It's going to be adorable.
But forever.
Yes.
So I guess join us on Monday as we recap this week's shows.
Have a good weekend.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.
This episode is brought to you by L'Oreal Paris and their Revitalift Filler range. If you're looking for a glass skin glow, try Revitalift Filler Serum and Plumping Water Cream. Powered by hyaluronic acid, L'Oreal's Filler Serum hydrates skin and replumps fine lines in just 1 hour. Then lock in that hydration and plump with the Filler Water Cream. Right now, the range is half price at Boots until the 21st of October, subject to availability. Shop the Revitalift Filler Serum and Water Cream at Boots now.